Good afternoon. The news now this lunchtime. Climate protesters have carried out a series of coordinated raids on sites across the southeast, including one at Gatwick railway station, one at the headquarters of the Royal Bank of Scotland in London, and another at Thurrock in Essex, where our reporter Ian McLaren is now. Ian, what can you tell us about these raids?
Well, it does seem that they are very much coordinated. The people involved in the protest here were from the climate camp back in Kent near Kings North Power Station. Of course, the police are all based there, about 1,000 or so of them, but that's not where the action was. It was here. This was the raid by climate camp protesters the police weren't prepared for. Activists climbed up one of the biggest silos at the Vopak depot near the Dartford crossing, dropping a 35-foot banner from the top, while 7 protesters blocked the road, preventing more than 100 tankers from moving in and out of the plant, which stores biofuels used at service stations across the southeast. Police later arrived to try to clear the road. Some of the protesters used lock-on tubes to make it difficult to remove them.
We were quite violently pulled apart by the police, and there could have been some really nasty injuries. Fortunately, my thing clipped, so I only ended up with a cut rather than a dislocated shoulder. 5
protesters remained on a ladder on the silo. One of them came down and spoke to us before the protesters and media were moved on by the police.
I've been threatened with arrest unless I left, and we now have 4 activists locked on the stairwell. The police wouldn't be able to pass them without actually cutting them out.
A short time ago, as torrential rain came down, the protest flag came down too, along with the remaining protesters. Well, with me now is Daniel Vopak. You were one of the people involved in this protest. Why did you do it, and do you justify the means that you used to get your message across?
Absolutely. 160,000 people are currently dying every year because of climate change, and it's currently the leading cause of refugees. We've seen runaway global melting of the Arctic, and companies like this one behind us, Tesco's and Greenergy, are actually responsible for the greenwash that goes along with saying that biofuels are acceptable, when actually they're the leading cause of deforestation, and they're also responsible for 75% of the food price rises that are affecting you and me right now. And what we're saying really with this action is that it's not acceptable to dress destruction up, environmental destruction up, with greenwash agenda.
Do you think this sort of action, though, strikes a chord with the public? Some people just don't like it.
Well, some people don't agree with it, and I think we do have to do a better job at getting our message across. But what's really unacceptable is that companies like this and the government continue to allow biofuels to continue without actually dealing with the environmental problems that are there and inherent within them.
OK, Daniel Vopak, thanks very much for joining us. I can tell you that this protest is definitely over now. The police are still here, and we understand that up to 9 arrests have been made.
Thank you, Ian.